the channel, we crunch a knuckle, or maybe two, with Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, WWE Mattel Knuckle Crunchers.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another WWE Mattel Wrestling unboxing and review. And today, something entirely different and probably a one and done unboxing, as today I'm finally getting around to seeing what all the fuss is about with the brand new, newish in the last year or so, I guess we should say, WWE Knuckle Crunchers. But for all your Knuckle Cruncher needs, I went to Walmart. But for all your other wrestling figure needs, make sure you're hitting up Ringside Collectibles. Use discount code Kyle, save yourself 10%. And of course, going to do this review like we do all the other reviews on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging. We're going to talk about it. We're going to unbox it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to see where it goes from there. And Knuckle Crunchers, a line, like I said, about a year ago, give or take, what is time, as we say here on the channel, came out. Walmart's, Target's, a lot of stores out there to buy these. And a very kid-friendly line. These are really for adults. This isn't something for me to be collecting. I can't imagine collecting this line. However, I was at one of my Walmarts on one of my travels, and I found each of these in the clearance aisle for $4 a piece. I said, $4, I'm going to see what's going on with these guys, see if they're worth $4 or worth $10, what they're exactly worth. And my local Walmart up the street actually has the ring for these on clearance right now. It's been sitting there forever at $10. I may even pick up that ring. I don't know. We'll see what ends up happening there. Guess it depends how this unboxing does go. But I understand the need for a little kid toy line. And I put myself, let's say I'm 6 years old. I'm wrestling obsessed. I want to have all the wrestling figures. Maybe my parents aren't going to buy me the Elites. Maybe they're not going to buy me even the Championship Showdowns, the main event style figures. But you know what? I could probably get a lot of these Knuckle Crunchers. And these Knuckle Crunchers, for me, remind me of the same kind of headspace, we'll call it, as the old muscle figures back in the 80s. Now, I collected those muscle figures. I loved it. It was wrestling figures, kind of superheroes, kind of mixed together. If you know muscle, you know muscle. But those were great for me, and those were used for me in my traveling days. Yes, my traveling days in the back seat as my dad driving us down the road, going to grandma's, going wherever we're going. Something I could bring on the road with me to play with. Now, this would have been amazing when I was 6 or 7 years old. Have a bunch of these guys in a little bag or something like that, a little box, whatever. Bring the little ring, bring these figures there, have matches on the road, help that drive time go by, because a 4-hour drive to grandma's is like a 12-hour drive in this day and age. It's just the way time goes when you're a little kid. 4 hours seems like an absolute eternity in the car, and you needed stuff to do. You needed stuff to keep you busy. You'd hopefully could take a nap somewhere along the way. But man, these Knuckle Crunchers probably would have passed the time pretty good for little Kyle. Now, old Kyle, not something I'm going to be displaying most likely. I could see these being displayed, though, at an office. Maybe you got one representation of Roman or Cody, put it over by your keyboard, and you're in business there. So maybe there is some use for adults, but I think primarily, and I think we'd all agree, these are for the kids. Won't we think about the kids, of course? But let's dive into it. Let's start with my boy, Cody Rhodes, good friend of the channel, Cody right here, of course. Just crunching knuckles left and right. That's all he's been doing, just crunching knuckles. Interesting. It does say the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, 6 and up. So those 5-year-olds are out of luck there. Includes barbell and weight belt, smash opponents, of course, Knuckle Crunchers. And there it is on the back there. A little cross sell. We got a little Roman Reigns, a little Jey Uso, a little Jimmy Uso here. And it says you can collect them all. Can I? May I collect them all? Thank you, Mattel. I will. But interesting for sure. But let's dive into it. I'm not even sure how to unbox these. I guess we're going to go off to the side here. Usually I go through the back door, but I guess it's a kid's toy, so I better go through the side. You know how that goes. And how do we get Cody out? I mean, pretty easy. Nothing else going on. Cardboard. Whoa, over the top. See you later. Watch out. Coming in extra hot. Throwing stuff around. See you later. Goodbye. Pretty easy to get out of the package. Great for those kids in the back seat. You get out of that Target, you want to rip into this right away. I've been there. We all been there. You got the little baggy action here, of course, little baggy action. And see you later. Goodbye. And now we're down to Cody Rhodes' business right here. We do get the dumbbell Does break apart, so if you want to bash it over somebody's head, whatever you want to do. Little dumbbell action here, looking good. A lot of plates on here, some heavy lifters. Is Mark Henry in the office today to get some of that done? It's going to roll right off my table. We do get the Cody Rhodes weight belt, looking good. Does say Nightmare there. Pretty much basic Cody Rhodes 101 as far as a belt goes. We've seen it in the Elite line as well. But looking good, the Nightmare belt accessory. And then we get down to Cody himself, Cody Rhodes. What do we got going on with this knuckle cruncher? So obviously, very interesting because Cody, awfully big right here. These are big, stylized figures, like superhero figures or whatever. Incredible Hulk size. And I guess in a whole world for children out there, and even some adults, I've seen them myself, they look at their wrestlers like superheroes. So I guess it makes sense here. You got Cody there, looks basically like one of his elite or main event style heads, just shrunken down. I'm sure they use the same technology, get the same head, they just shrink it down to a different size. Voila, you got that head there. Now, it's interesting, the knuckle crunchers do something that I wish the elites and the main events and the ultimates would do, is they put Cody's tattoo on the neck instead of over onto the cheek, where when you move the head, it just looks really goofy. We got some of that going on there, where it is not touching the neck. So I wish they would adapt that to the main events, the championship showdowns, the ultimates, the elites, and so forth. Even if it's not 100% correct, it just looks better for as far as action figures go. So I do like that. Now, we do got some big old arms on Cody. He's been really hitting the gym on his time off. You got the Cody Nightmare logo right there on the tank top. Claim Your Kingdom on the back, of course. Then you got some black blue jeans, I guess, black jeans down here. And then you got some big old white feet. Man, he's got some big old white shoes on there. Absolutely crazy. He does got a hole in his foot, too. Not going to fit. Oh, wait. Oh, look at that. He even fits on a ringside collectible stand if you need him to. So that's interesting as well. I don't know if you really necessarily need stands for these guys, but does look interesting. Arms do go all the way around for us. No real side to side at the head. You do get waist articulation. You hear all that snapping going on right there. Leg goes up a little bit hard to move, but it does crunch, and it's kind of like the bone crunchers of old, maybe, I guess is what we could say. It's the knuckle cruncher, but it does crunch, and you can really feel it crunching as you move it around. Not bad. No wrist articulation, anything like that. The arms do go off to the side if you need to, but a little cumbersome to move around, but not a bad little playability little figure for the back seat, of course. And he does stand without a stand, as you would imagine he would. But now we're going to dive over to Roman Reigns. Not a lot to be said about these little guys here. We got Roman in the package once again. One thing I don't like is anybody can get their grubby fingers on these. Anybody can touch them. You almost need to Windex them down after you're done. Does come with a stretcher, it looks like, on this one. Knuckle crunchers on the side. Roman looking only like a Roman could look on that side, and then on the back, a little bit of that cross sell. Instead of Roman, you got Cody down there, and it looks like he's squaring off with Cody right here. Crunched the competition, it says. Also does include a stretcher and a WWE championship. So I'm here for a WWE title in this scale. See what the fuss is about with that. There we go. See you later. Goodbye. Can I get Roman out? There we go. See you later. Double whammy. And trifecta. See you later. Goodbye. How about we get that belt out? And that's where the partying starts. Once the belt starts getting out, see you later. Goodbye. We do got the stretcher here, I guess, built for Cody, unfortunately. But Cody, nice stretcher here, just all in red. Just a little stretcher is what it is. Do get the title belt here. Of course, Roman carried this belt for a long time. We all remember on the channel when I went to WrestleMania, was at 39 out there in California, saw Roman and Cody. Cody didn't quite finish his story that year, but the next year at 40, he did. But it's nice to get a little title belt. You can feud these guys over. Always fun in the backseat of the car, playing with your wrestlers. Have a title belt to feud over as well. And now we get down to Roman Reigns here. Looks like Roman, pretty good. Does not look quite like a head from the main event, Ultimates, Elites, that kind of thing. Where Cody, it really felt like they shrunk the head down. Roman looks like he's got a new look to him here, at least to me. Got the big bun at the top, looking pretty good there as well. But it looks like Roman, but a little bit more cartoony than the Cody Rhodes, in my opinion. Now, we do get the tattoos on Roman all across the arm there. And up onto the back and shoulder. You get the red glove down here. And, of course, you got a little black wrist tape. Black jeans here, black boots. Looks like Roman, of course. Same articulation between these two, so there's not going to be anything to really walk through on that one there. But not bad. Very stylized, very kiddie, though, at the end of the day. But not a bad piece of business, and I keep going back to it. But these are perfect for the little kids just starting to get into their wrestling fandom. You're not going to break the bank with an Ultimate or an Elite or something higher priced. Maybe it's, hey, this kid likes wrestling. Let's see where it goes. These are perfect. And I can imagine if there was like a birthday party or something like that with all the elementary kids, the kids like wrestling. These are perfect birthday gifts at that occasions as well. But maybe the start of a wrestling fandom, see where it goes, see if the kid likes to play with these. If they do like these, take them to the next step. Maybe they go to the main event, the championship showdown figures, or they go straight to the ultimates. Who knows? But it is a good gateway drug into action figure and primarily wrestling figure collecting right here with these knuckle crunchers. So while not necessarily going to be for me and probably the majority of the people watching this, I think we all had to start somewhere. And I think a lot of us, if we could put ourselves back in that 6-year-old mind space, we'd probably be into something like this. I have to imagine. I know I'd have these as I'm rolling down the interstate with my dad, my parents, and my sister in the back seat going to grandma's. These would have been a perfect way to pass the time, just like the muscle figures did once upon a time for me. So the knuckle crunchers, while not necessarily for me, do get 2 thumbs up for what they are. But what say you guys and gals, especially you gals out there? I know you gals are watching, but let me know your thoughts in the comments down below on these new knuckle crunchers and see if you're collecting these in your collection. And you got kids that collect these. Maybe you do. Shout it out in the comments down below. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to both my YouTube channels. Check out the Patreon. Check out YouTube channel memberships for more content, early content, bonus content, and your best way to support the channel. You can also support the channel, of course, over there at Pro Wrestling Tees. Pick up a t-shirt, search Kyle Peterson. Sir Paul64 on the X, _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, Instagram, TikTok, and of course, TheKylePetersonShow at gmail.com. My new podcast every single Tuesday, wherever audio podcasts are found, with videocast on YouTube. So for a Knuckle Crunchers unboxing, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.
Well, are we gonna dance or are we gonna play?